Hello, beautiful people. This is Haben Abraham from Haben Abraham Vision Coaching LLC. I am back with another video and writing prompt for us to do today. We are at the end of 2020. And so I think this is a great opportunity and a good time for us to focus on intentions and setting intentions for the new year. Oftentimes, I find people get caught up in the word resolution, and we get so tied to a certain result that I think, given the time that we're in and it being such a sensitive time, we sort of lose sight of how flexible we have had to be this last year. And really navigating through something, none of us have experienced before, and really having to reimagine new ways of doing things. And so I see people setting resolutions. I see things really related to, very specific types of goals. And it's fine to have goals. I think what I'm noticing more of is that we are tying a lot of self-worth and image to meeting what these resolutions are. And so there's a conversation about failure that we're not really having that's impacting us when we get a little rigid about what our goals might be. And so I wanted to open this up with this activity for a few reasons. I think for me, language is very important, and that is why I choose the word intention rather than anything else. So I won't just call it goal setting. I think intention carries a different energy around what your aim is, what your plan could actually look like, and giving yourself the flexibility to make a different decision. Giving yourself the flexibility to pivot and not feel bad about having to pivot. So I think that's usually a part of the conversation that goes missing oftentimes. And so today, what I would love for you to do is grab any journaling materials that you have, pens, markers, paper in particular. If you could do this activity on paper, it would be easier to complete the second part of this activity. So that's just a heads up about that. If also you would need something like this. This is an old watch box, gift box that I had. And so something that can come apart easily and has some space on the inside for you, that would be the most ideal thing to get for this activity. So for starters, I want you to reflect on the last year for you. What were some of the positives out of this last year? What were a lot of your challenges from this last year? How did you respond to a lot of those events and things that happened? I just want you to breathe that in, just to kind of get centered before you go into your writing, so that you're a little bit more focused on writing about what your intentions are. So take a breath. I'm going to inhale, hold it, exhale. Inhale again. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Just let that out. So for this writing prompt, you will write a letter to yourself from the perspective of your future self. And what I mean by that is you are going to write a letter reflecting on your year 2021. In order to reflect on a year you haven't lived through yet, what you're really doing is setting an intention, writing what your intentions are. And so you're going to write this letter as if you've met these intentions that you're writing about. You're writing the letter from the standpoint that you've already made it. You've made it through. And so now you are just sharing, this letter with yourself around what it is that you want and what you hope to see happen in the next year. So for the year 2021, that's what you're truly focused on in this letter. You can decorate the letter in any way that you want. If there's a certain image you want to attach to it, if you want to paint something on a piece of paper that goes with it, that's fine. If there are certain quotes that you either want to hear or feel like would be a good motivation for 2021, you can add that in the corner of your letter. Really, you can decorate it any way that you want. I would prefer that you do this on paper so that when we move into the second piece that I'm going to explain, it makes sense. So with a container of your choice, you are going to, after your letter is complete, you are going to fold the letter, fold the images that you drew, and you're going to place them inside the box. What I want you to do is seal the box after you are done, and with your hand over the top of your container, I want you to reflect on one word. Just choose one word that really speaks to your spirit and is a part of your intention. So for instance, for me personally, my word for the year is reimagine. We've had to do a lot of reimagining solutions and, pivoting and needing to sort of adjust at, the drop of a dime, pretty much. And so that's my word. And so I'm just sharing that to sort of give you an idea of what I mean. That was a word that really spoke to me personally in terms of how I have had to live, and will continue to live moving forward. And so I just want to make that point because the word that you choose really and truly the meaning behind all of that is it does carry energy, and language is important. But it's also to let you know that you can always pivot. You can always change your mind about something. You are not tied to anything indefinitely. You have the choice to move. And so that is why word setting is very important. And it may shift, it may change. And so that's fine. Just allow yourself the grace to do that and to be okay with that. What you're going to do after you set your word intention over your letter that's inside the box, I want you to gift wrap the box. This might sound silly to some folks, but there is some science behind that in terms of what's going on psychologically with folks. And so you are going to gift yourself this box right before the year 2022. So whether it's a few days before, whether you want to sort of do some sort of celebration and you sort of open this, on New Year's Eve of next year, that's fine as well. However you want to gift this to yourself and celebrate that moment with yourself is fine. It's whatever you feel you want to do. And so I want you to then unwrap your gift to yourself right before 2022. so that you can reflect on what your intentions were for that past year. How have they shifted? What do you want to do differently? What will remain as an intention for the following year into 2022? If there is a shift, again, allow yourself the grace to do that and to choose a new intention if that's what you feel is most appropriate for you. So let me know how this process went for you. My hope is that you all gift yourself something going into that new year, and that you're reminded of your resilience, and that you're reminded of what you have come through and the adjustments that you've made, but also the survival that is attached to that. So I look forward to hearing from you about how this went, and stay tuned. All right, take care.